Friends, let us see another important chapter of this course, that is rural leadership. So, good number of leaders you can find in the rural areas. How best the extension worker can make use of these leaders for dissemination of information. So, rural areas, I told you, the today's chapter is topic is rural leadership. Meaning of rural leadership, classification of leaders, role of leaders, and different methods of selection of leaders. So every herd of wild cattle or every herd of wild animal has its leader, its influential head. You can see any herd. It may be cattle or buffalo or cow. Hmm. You can see the you can observe the leader. One is leading. Even in case of birds, you can see one is leading. Every herd of wild cattle has its leader, its influential head. So here is these are the leaders. Hitler, Abraham Lincoln, Mahatma Gandhi, hmm, Mother Teresa. These are the important examples of political leaders, social leaders, freedom fighters. What is leadership? Hmm? Leadership is the process of leading the people. Leadership is the process of leading the people. Leadership is the process of influencing the people. Leadership is the process of commanding the people. Leadership is the process of guiding the people. Leading the people is nothing but leadership. Influencing the people in a desired way, as desired by the society, is nothing but leadership. Commanding the people, controlling the people is also a leadership. Guiding the people, hmm, assisting the people as desired by them is also a leadership. So, what is, let us see the meaning of leadership. Common observation and empirical research studies show that common observation, common observations and empirical researches, past studies. Empirical means past researches or past studies shows that certain individuals have the ability to influence others in the desired way. Certain individuals in the society, some individuals, some persons in the society have the ability to influence the others as desired by the society. Not all the individuals, certain individuals, certain persons have the ability to influence the others as desired by the society or in a desired way. In every society, certain individuals operate within the group to guide and influence the members to action. In every society, certain individuals operate within the group. For example, within the village, certain individuals operate within the district, certain individuals operate within the community, within the caste. In every society, certain individuals operate within the group to guide and influence the members to the action. These individuals are referred as leaders. So then who is leader? Who is leader? Leader is one who influences the thought and action, thought and behavior of others in a desired way. Leader is a person who influences the thought and actions of others, other individuals in a desired way or as desired by the society. A leader is one who influences thought and action of other individuals in a desired way. The another meaning of leader is a person who effectively influences a group. Leader is a person who influences the group members to cooperate in setting and achieving the goals, who effectively influences the group or group members to cooperate in setting and achieving the goals of the group. For example, community leaders who constantly influences the community members to fulfill the community needs and interests. Caste leaders, religious leaders. So they are continuously, even political leaders, they are influencing the members. Then what is leadership? Leadership is the process of influencing, guiding, directing, and the thought and actions of the people in the intended direction. Leadership. Leader is the person who influences the thought and actions, whereas leadership is a continuous activity. Leadership is not one-time activity. It is a continuous process. Leadership is a process. Leadership is the process of influencing, guiding, directing, guiding and directing the thought and actions. Leadership is the process of influencing, guiding, and directing the thought and actions of the people in intended direction or in the desired direction. Another simple meaning of leadership is the process of effectively influencing the thought and behavior. Leadership is the process of Leadership is the process of effectively influencing the thought and actions of other individuals in effectively. Leadership is the process of effectively influencing the thought and actions of others. It is similar to the first definition. So another simple definition of leadership given by Rogers and Olmsted. Leadership is defined as an activity. It is an activity. It is an action. Leadership is defined as an activity in which effort is made to influence the people. In which effort is made to influence the people to cooperate in achieving the goal as viewed by the group as desired. Effectively cooperate, influencing the people to effectively cooperate in achieving the group goals, in achieving the group activities. These are the simple definitions of leadership. There are some definitions, sorry, there are some theories of leadership, how the leaders are identified. There are some psychological theories. Based on that, usually the leaders are identified. First one is great man theory, second one is trait theory, third one is functional theory, fourth one is situational theory. So let us see brief one by one. Great man theory. So according to this theory, leadership is decided by the birth. Huh? By birth, one becomes a leader. That is, by birth, one is leader. Here, according to this theory, the leadership is decided by the birth. That is, by birth, one is leader. For example, son of queen becomes the king. Son of queen, son of king becomes the king. Daughter of king becomes the queen, or son of daughter of queen becomes the queen. So this is according to this theory, the leadership is decided by the birth. By birth, one becomes the leader. Then trait theory. Trait means certain characteristics. A person who possesses certain traits or characteristics of excellence. A person who possesses certain excellent characters becomes the leader of the group. Here, the leadership is decided by the quality one who possesses, the character one who possesses, or the trait one who possesses. Leadership is decided by quality one who possesses or character one who possesses. For example, intelligence, dynamism, knowledge, education, courage, ability to influence other, ability to take quick decisions. So these are some of the important traits. Based on these traits, the leadership is decided. Then third one is functional theory, ability to perform. Here the leadership is decided based on the ability to perform certain functions. Ability to perform certain functions determine the potentiality of the person to be a leader. Leadership is decided by ability of the person to perform certain function. Hmm. Leadership is decided by the ability of the person to perform certain function. Ability to perform certain, for example, good player can be a leader on sports. For example, Kohli is a good player in cricket, so he became the leader. He became the captain of the Indian team. Good singer can be a leader. Good dancer can be a leader. So this is based on the functional theory. Leadership is decided by the ability of a person to perform certain function. The next is situation theory. Ability to manage certain situations. Thereby, the individual become the leader. Certain circumstances or situations that becomes more important in determining the leader. Certain circumstances that becomes more important in determining the leaders. Ability to manage certain situations, certain circumstances that determines the leader. Leadership is decided by the ability of the person. Leadership is decided by the ability of the person to manage certain situations. How the individual manage the certain situation. Leadership is decided by the ability of the person to manage certain situations. For example, crowd, quarrel, clashes, crisis, etc. Ability to manage the crowd, ability to manage the quarrel, ability to manage the clashes, crisis, etc. So these are some of the important theories of leadership. So these are the classification of the leaders. So we can classify in mainly two ways: autocratic leader, democratic leader, legislative leader. Formal leader and informal leader. So let us see in detail who is autocratic leader, who is democratic leader, who is legislative leader. Classification of leaders or types of leaders. First one is autocratic leader, based on the authority. Autocratic leader is also known as authoritarian leaders. Autocratic leaders, because of power, they influences the, because of authority, they influences the best example for this autocratic leader is Hitler, Saddam Hussein, North Korea president, North Korea Prime Minister Jinping. Sub here in this type of leadership, the subordinates are not involved in any decision making. All the decisions made by the leader himself. Subordinates are never involved in decision making and their opinions are not taken into account. So this type of leader operates as if he cannot trust the people. Autocratic leader operates as if he cannot trust the people. He never trusts the people. He has little or no trust or never trust in his subordinates. He motivates the people through fear and punishment. Through fear, by creating the fear among the members or employees, and through punishment he gets the work done. Through fear and punishment, he thinks that his subordinates are never doing what they should do. He thinks that the subordinates are never do things what they should do. The employees, the employee is paid to work, therefore he must work. So this is the autocratic type of leadership. Then democratic type of leadership. Democratic type of leadership. So this democratic leader is also known as participative leader or consultative leader. That means ensure the participation of all the members while making the decisions. Or he consult all the members, consultative. He consult all the members of the group while making the decision. He consult subordinates and encourages the participation. He consult the subordinates and also he encourage the participation of subordinates. He trusts the subordinates. He trusts the subordinates. Whereas in case of autocratic leader, the leader never trusts the subordinates. He never consults the subordinate. He trusts the subordinates. The subordinates are included in decision making. Participation of all is encouraged. He works to develop the feeling of responsibility on the part of everybody. He consult everybody before taking. He involve everybody while taking. Thereby, the members accept some responsibility. He works to develop a feeling of responsibility on the part of everybody. He attempts to understand the positions and feelings of employees. He shares with the group members work. He shares with the group members work to the decision making and planning of activities. If he criticizes, sometimes he criticizes. He criticizes so in terms of results expected rather than on the basis of personalities. He never criticizes anybody, but he criticizes work in the interest of the group, not individual personality. Then third one is laissez-faire leader. Laissez-faire leader. Subordinates are given high degree of power. Here, the subordinates are given high degree of power. He has, unlike autocratic leader, here the subordinates are given high degree of power. He has he has more trust in subordinates. Laissez-faire leader. Subordinates are given high degree of this type of leaders give high degree of freedom to the high degree of power or freedom to the subordinates. He has more trust in subordinates. He believes that if you leave the workers alone, the work will be done. He will not take any decisions at all. He will not involve any decision making process and he will not take any decisions. If at all possible, he put off the decision making. Try to avoid decision making or decision involvement in the decision making process. He leaves everything to the subordinates. You only take the decisions, you only work. He tends to withdraw from the work. We try to avoid the working group. This is because he seems to have no confidence in himself. This happens because of no confidence in himself. This results in low production. This results in low production, low turnover of the work. The group, the group will be, the group will be feeling insecure. The group feel insecure. So these are the other classifications of the leader: formal leader and informal leader or local. Formal leader is extension worker or teachers or the village accountant. These are the formal leader. These are appointed by the government organizations, government working for the government. Formal leader. Informal leaders means progressive farmers, religious leaders, caste leaders, community leaders. These are the informal leaders. Professional leaders and lay leaders. Professional leaders means again, extension worker is a professional, agriculture professional leader, teacher is a professional leader, agriculture assistant is a professional leader, village accountant is a professional leader. They are leaders in their profession. Lay leaders means again local leaders, progressive farmer, religious leader, community leaders, caste leaders. Political, another classification, political leaders, religious leaders, social leaders, academic leaders. Politicians, political leaders, Gram Panchayat member, Gram Panchayat president, MLAs, MPs. These are the political, religious leaders, Swamijis, leaders of the various mathas, religious institutions. They are the religious leaders, social workers. Social worker is the are the uh, social leaders. Academic leaders means teachers, professors are the academic leaders. Elected leaders or selected leaders, nominated leaders. So elected leaders through election process they elect MLAs, MPs, Gram Panchayat members, president. These are the elected. Selected leaders. Selected, for example, Vice Chancellor is a selected leader. Dean is a selected leader. Nominated, because of knowledge, sometimes they are nominated to be a leader. Traditional leaders, progressive leaders, born leaders. Traditional leaders include cultural leaders, religious leaders, progressive farmers, born leaders, queen, king, queen, they are the born leaders. So the remaining aspect we shall see in the next class. Remaining aspect of this leadership we shall see in the next class.